I was talking to an expectant mom the other day, and she was asking my advice on whether to go the nanny or daycare route with her first child. And this is what I told her. First, it's a really personal decision. Here are some factors to consider. One factor might be cost. With a nanny, you are employing this person, so you're responsible for their whole salary. Versus with a daycare, it's a shared cost model, so typically it is less expensive per family. Second thing to think about is what kind of control you want over the situation. With a nanny, they're your employee, you're setting all the structure, you're providing their materials, you're figuring out the routines. That's all, under your direction. You're also making sure they show up for work each day. Other things that people don't necessarily think about that you have to do as an employer. With a daycare, some have more flexibility than others, but you're falling into line in their rules and routine and their structure that they've already set up. So it depends kind of how much control you want there. And then finally, think about safety. Both can be really safe choices. But with a nanny, like any household employee, you're responsible for entirely vetting that person, performing a background check, checking references, all the things. With a daycare, they are licensed and regulated by the state that you live in. So you can go on Winnie, you can check their license, you can check that license is in good standing. Then you know that the employees have been background checked, they're first aid certified. I still highly recommend doing your homework, checking reviews. Those can also be found on Winnie, checking references from other families. But you do have kind of that basic level of regulation in place. But ultimately, both can be amazing choices depending on your situation. So you got to think about your personal situation. Those are just some of the factors that I would consider in making that choice.